This regular meeting of the Navasota City Council is called to order on Monday, 8th of January in Council Chambers 2024. Let the record show all council members present. Welcome and thank you for being here tonight. We ask that you put yourself on to a silent vote. And visitors, if you would, please sign in. If you wish to speak under visitors' remarks, fill out the form found in the back, state your name and address at the podium, as we must document all meeting business and remarks limited to 3 minutes. Tonight's invocation will be led by Pastor Mac Vaughn, then followed by the pledge.
Hey, I hope y'all don't mind. I left my phone on in case God calls. Okay? That's all right. Yeah. That's a problem. Oh, gracious God, such a celebratory moment it is to look at those who lead our city, to know that their spirit is with us and with you, that they seek to do the good of this city as they've done for years past. God, we just ask a special blessing upon them and the early responders and law enforcement and all that you have blessed to take care of this city. God, may your grace reign in each and every one of us. May your grace reign in all the discussions that we have tonight. And we give your Son the glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Arts visitors, we have Miss Lucy from the Chamber of Commerce.
Lucy.
Good evening, guys. How are you? It's right out the chute on the meeting. So I wanted to take a minute and remind everyone of some very important events that we have coming up with the Chamber, because there are a lot of things that happen in January, and it's a fresh new year, and I know you guys plan all your calendars around what the Chamber does. I know that. Looking at you, Patty. So a couple of things that we have coming up. We have, of course, State of the City, which is celebrating Navasota, talking about changes in leadership. We've invited Senator Colkhurst to come and speak about some different things that are going on legislatively. Then we also have our county judge coming in. So that is Wednesday at 10 a.m. here at the First Baptist Church in Navasota. And we have got some amazing sponsors to cover meals, breakfast. Mayor Miller's, you guys are sponsoring, Classic Arts is sponsoring our coffee, just to make sure everybody's covered and well fed. But just reminding you, if you can afford to take off time or come to that, please. And we also want the community to take advantage of that as well. This is also going to give your city manager a chance to introduce their new leadership team and some major changes that happen with the team and let the community know who's running the ship, who's steering it. A couple other things that we wanted to remind the community of. So the Chamber this year is starting to partner with United Methodist Church here in Navasota and also Blood Drive Community of Navasota to host blood drives for the city. One of the things that we're doing is we have picked 5 different dates, which we'll announce this week in our newsletter next week. Our first one is January 17th, just to help drive our donation base. So if you don't give blood, it's okay. We won't shame you. You can bake cookies and bring them and help me greet. But if you don't give blood, a lot of people that rely on this, our blood drive donations are very low in this area. So we are trying to beef that up. So in 2024, the Chamber is going to be launching our ambassadors, social media campaign, and just a lot more of a community awareness on that. So our first one is January 17th. You can all, James, you can even show up and bake cookies and do the burger. I got you. So anybody can come in and help us with that. So if you're interested, let me know. And then the next project that we have that will directly affect the community of Navasota is our next Coffee of the Chamber, which is on Valentine's Day, but it's during working hours. You guys are fine. February 14th, we are going to be hosting Coffee of the Chamber with the Workforce Solutions office here in Navasota. Our goal is, they have new staff, our goal is to bring the community in, bring businesses in, and help create some involvement and some community awareness for what BDCOG offers and what the workforce offer. My background for the last 15 years has been heavily involved and actually employed with Workforce Solutions and both contractors, so I know how good their programs are. And one of the things the chamber wants to do is really push their new staff member that's running that office and push the community programs like their youth internship and the young adult program that they have for Grimes County. So we're going to be doing that on February 14th. So pretty quick dates, but something that will be very good for our community and directly affect the community of Navasota. So thank you all very, very much for your time.
Thank you. All right, next we have item number 4, which is our staff report this week.
Mayor, members of council, we're going to have John McKay, a graduate engineer, come up and give an update on our CIP projects.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Hope y'all had good holidays. The first update I'd like to give is over on the Conn Lakes Gas Loop project. They have installed the gas line along Fairway Drive is almost complete, but the Conn Lakes Drive is. They're starting to look at some of the permits for construction that they have to hold along the TxDOT right away there with fallback on the large line that runs from VFW back along the ditch south of Roosevelt back over to 379. So we consider kind of that work that's Fairway Drive, Conn Lakes Drive, and along the south side of Washington over to the VFW is kind of our phase 1. That's where our low pressure gas line runs. Just getting that complete back up into a 4-inch adds a lot of flow to the Conn Lakes area as we're hitting this cold stretch. After that, they're going to take the line, build a regulator station, and take a line all the way back to our high pressure industrial area. And that really gives a giant shot in the arm for the amount of gas that we can have over there on the west side of town. So that's where that one stands. The next one would be that I want to talk about is the Eastside Water Plant. Both the water well and the water tower have been submitted for permitting to various agencies. Bluebonnet Groundwater District is giving their approval for the well, so now that's to the state. The water tower itself is also to the state for permitting at this time. So that's both going forward on both sides of that project. The CIP project, the large streets and utility project, is continuing. The Water Street right now is getting its services put on. Next streets we intend to see utility work on are Brosig, as well as more street for utilities. I know there was a hope that I'd come with specific dates for when the paving crews were coming to this meeting. I do not have those for you. The water tie-ins have been a bugbear. Just from what data we had institutionally or map-wise, we organized our old plans. We found some old valves that had been buried over the years. But half those valves had been buried because the folks back in the 70s who buried them knew they were broken. So we're now looking at the most cost-effective way to still make those tie-ins. You've heard the term during the fire hydrant project, line stops and insert valves. So we're looking at the most efficient way to valve off this system. The good news is that when we do that, it means new valves in areas that we had trouble controlling before. There's a lot of areas in this old town, when you're talking to staff out in the field, that they've been having to fix with pressure still on the line for small leaks. So we're actually fixing a chunk of that as well. And I believe that's the majority of the CIP going on right now, actually. So if y'all have any questions?
Mayor and Council, I want to let you know, so staff, a lot of public works went out and looked at a bunch of the developments going on after the big rainstorm we had today. There was quite a bit of rain noticed throughout town, of course. There was significant flooding in phase 4 of Conn Lakes, and so staff and I will be grouping up to find a solution for that and find another solution moving forward, which may mean that we need to look at other engineering firms internally to utilize staff review of drainage plans and those type of things. And so just let you know that might be coming up pretty soon for us. Staff's going to be jumping on that, I think next week is at the meeting. We can talk about that in turn. Next turn.
Yes, sir.
Next item, Mayor, I think Ms. Holmeyer wants to update you on the election.
Mayor and City Council, the May 4th election will be coming up really quick. And just want to let you know that the sign-up period will start January the 17th and it will close out on February the 16th for positions 1, 2, and 3. And we will also have the charter revisions on that ballot as well. The application will be online. If they want to download it, fill it out, and bring it into us, they can do that. We'll have all those uploaded the day before sign-up period starts.
Sign up to.
January the 17th through February the 16th. And the election notice is in your packet, in case you forget that.
And the election is May 4th.
May 4th, yes, sir.
May the 4th be with you.
Do what?
Party card.
Oh.
You gotta live to do it on.
That's right.
Okay, any reports from council on boards and commissions? I have one from the Planning and Zoning Commission, met on December 14th, approved a replat for 2 new single-family dwellings to be located on Oakwood Street over there near the hospital. That's a real positive outcome there. Can really infill some a nice little corner there. So glad to see that. And just as a reminder to council, I think y'all all received the latest assignments for council members to representing council to observe at board and commission meetings. For the first quarter, Keep Minnesota Beautiful will be Mr. Harris. Parks and Board of Adjustment is Ms. Peterson. Airport is myself. Library is Mr. Kestner. And Planning and Zoning is Mr. Ford. Coming up, actually kicked off today, the community challenge that we kicked off here at council a few weeks ago. The It's Time Texas Community Challenge kicks off for the city competition and school competition as well. You just go to the App Store and pull up or search for Community Challenge, or go to itstimetexas.org. It started today, goes through March 3rd, and again, it's a competition between all the cities in Texas for different populations, and then also just different schools compete with each other. And it can be everything from drinking water to taking a walk to doing a full workout at the gym. So it can be just about anything. And so if you're already doing those things, why not go ahead and put them in the app and get some points for Navasota. So just join in and maybe we'll win something. She mentioned earlier the State of the City. That is hosted by the Navasota Grimes County Chamber of Commerce and the Navasota Examiner. We want to thank them for leading that. This Saturday, the 13th, is Martin Luther King Day Parade. It starts at 11 over on Brosig, and it will run to the Carver School, then back to the Friendship Baptist Church for a program immediately after the parade ends. So invite everyone to come out for the parade and for the program. Coming up the 14th, we got a couple of candidate forums that are coming up. These are for county candidates, and it's at the Lions Club building at the fairgrounds. January 14th from 3:30 to 6. That will include our, these forms are for the Republican ticket, from what I understand. The 114 is state representative, District 12, the district attorney, county attorney, sheriff, and tax assessor collector. And then on the 18th of January from 5:30 to 8, we'll have precinct 1, 2, and 3 and 4 combination constable, and then precinct 1 and 3 commissioners. So there'll be information in that in the newspaper and other places. And again, coming up on the 17th, the blood drive at the United Methodist Church. And the neat thing on that is that you can go to redcrossblood.org and register your time that you want to give. You can pick the times that are available there. It runs from 11:30 to 5 on that day. And after you register, there is a neat process you can go through where you can actually answer all the questions that if you've ever given blood, you have to answer 1,000 questions. This allows you to do it online the day of, and then when you get there, then you don't have to sit there and wait. So it's a lot quicker process just to do it online. So, and that information again is at redcrossblood.org. The 17th, also that same day, there's a franchise owner workshop, also hosted by the Chamber and our Economic Development Corporation at Rail and Rye. I can't read the time on here. I think it's 10 a.m. But you can find that out on the Chamber of Commerce website to find more details there. And just things coming up, we've got Go Texan, Grimes County Go Texan coming up the 26th to the 28th of January at the Expo Center. And then on the February 10th, from 10 to 5, is the Galentine Sip and Shop downtown. That was just announced a couple of days ago.
Mayor, I also want to let everybody know about a new thing that the city's got going. It's NAV Notify. So we rolled out the NAV Notify alert system, and so you can any resident, visitor, whoever wants to be a part of that, they can go to our Facebook page and click on the link to sign up for that, or then go to our website under sign up for alerts. So it's a way that you can get alerts about community events, library programs, any emergencies that are occurring, weather alerts and events. And so it's a great new tool and a new thing for our residents to be able to sign up for. So I want to make sure everybody is aware of that and go out and sign that up. You can select if you want only to get community events, you click on it. Or if you want emergency events, then you just click on it, or you pick all of it, and also how you want to be contacted. Also want to remind everybody that on next Monday, on the 15th, City Hall and all non-public safety operations will be closed in observance of MLK Day. And then also tomorrow, our Parks subcommittee that the mayor formed will be meeting at 2:30 here at City Hall. So Councilmember Peterson and Councilmember Fultz will be there with staff to start going through those items. That's all I got, Mayor.
I have a question. That's just because I was looking at the calendar when he was making all these announcements. There's only like 2 that are on our city's website. Who does somebody?
So on the city, yes, on the city website, those are only would be city function things. We're in the process of working on the Visit Navasota website, which our new marketing communication person just got access about not even right before Christmas, and so hasn't had time to go in. That's where those type of events will start occurring. If they're not city related, they'll have city related and all non-city related events on the Visit Navasota site.
You know, the time being, the Chamber they've really updated their calendar. Of course, that covers the whole county, but it's a very comprehensive calendar that Lucy has. Well, I'd like to welcome, we have some guests here with us tonight. Y'all guys, y'all want to stand up back there? You're with 361, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all for being here tonight.
Pleasure to be here.
Item 5 is consideration of possible action to approve a design option for directional signs from National Signs LLC for the citywide wayfinding project phase 1.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Kristen Goffey. I'm the Assistant City Manager, and I'm here tonight to bring back an item that has been discussed previously. As part of our citywide wayfinding project, we have a couple of options for the directional signage. What had been presented to you previously, unfortunately, was not in accordance or did not meet TxDOT standards. So we worked with National Signs and TxDOT to come up with two options that do meet their standards and have been approved. But we would like to get your feedback before we move forward with the project on which design you would like to see. And these will be the highway directional signs throughout now. So there's a total of 8 of them that are planned. And they are significantly different than what was originally proposed, but they will still, I think, be a good asset for the city to help us direct visitors to a lot of our different attractions in the city. So up on the screen in your packet, you can see the 2 different options. It's basically, blue sign with, it looks almost black, it's a very dark brown, what they call it, kind of a marker that has our logo in it. And so really what we're looking for tonight is just to get your feedback on those 2 design options and which one you would like to choose for the directional signs.
Personally, I like the one with the dome and the rounded edges and the established 1854. I like the 1854 up under there, personally. And that kind of flows with all of them the same way, right? But either one of these.
Take all the fun away.
Yeah, that's, you can tell that's TxDOT font. You see that on all
There's a
signs.
standard font, a standard arrow.
They must have changed the rules because there's a whole lot of these in other towns that
So,
don't have to do it
so
this
they
way.
haven't changed the rules. So
We just
our
got
Bryan,
hot.
We got
our Bryan district is a little bit more stringent and required. Even though I explained A&M, College Station, Bryan signs
right.
have 2 poles, have different colors because you're not allowed to put red. They got red and maroon. So
And different font.
a different font. So
Do they have to go through a variance process to get that done,
No,
or we
there's-
could just ask for forgiveness and not?
I don't know. They tried to tell me that it was before the new regulations went into effect. So we asked the National Sign how long these rules been in effect, and it was before the signs went into effect. So yeah, I'm sure we just got caught. But we have been through some cities. There are some that they do hold them, at least over in Austin area. I know up in East Texas area, there's some too that they hold them to, but there's some that aren't. So in order for us to move forward, these are the 2 options that were both TxDOT approved.
No need on?
Is the City Hall, downtown, and airport, are all of those on one sign?
Yes, sir. We're only allowed to put 3 items on one sign.
But that's not set as far as what's going to be on the
Right.
sign. So once we get approved for the design, staff will work up what list should be on each sign.
Yeah, the font has to be the same. The arrows all have to be the same. You go in different directions, but they have to be the same. But you can only get 3 per sign. Only allow 3
locations?
3 locations. And you can have maybe 2, 1 or 2, but you can't have more than 3.
Any idea what the difference in cost?
It saves, so the original, I have the cost.
We had some savings, significant savings.
Significant.
Sorry, I'm thinking of replacing the sign if it gets hit. One looks like it has a lot more stuff on it than the other one.
So the sign costs are the same, no matter which sign you do it.
Right, correct. Both options are the same cost, but it is a significant savings from what was originally proposed.
I just like our tagline and the year deal on there. That's kind of cool. Anybody else have any
Yeah, I kind of like that also.
Can we get a motion?
Oh, sure.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we select option number 2.
Motion by Mr. Gessler, second by Mr. Court, to move ahead with option number 2, design and wayfinding sign. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, item carries. Thank you. At least they let them do, at least they're blue. Or Rattler blue, right? Item 6, consideration of possible action to approve first reading ordinance 1038-24, authorizing participation with Entergy Service Area cities in matters concerning Entergy Texas Inc. at the Public Utility Commission of Texas in 2024, and authorizing the hiring of lawyers and rate experts.
Mayor, members of council, this is just a technical thing we need to go through annually. The Lawton Law Firm, which is the representative of the cities in the steering committee, which represent any rate filings that Entergy makes to the PUC. And so this item is to allow us to be a participant in that steering committee for anything that will occur in 2024.
This is just letting us get ahead of the game, isn't it?
Yes, sir. They've already been in contact with Entergy, and Entergy does plan on submitting some, or has disclosed that they plan on submitting some stuff. So yes, sir, this is to get ahead of it and start preparing, because we require 2 ordinances. That's why we have it tonight, so that we'll bring it back at the next meeting and then get it to them so they can start in February. Because they're talking about March, April is whenever they would be filing that if they do so.
Is the feeling that most of the cities that were in before are going to stay on as well?
Yes, sir. They're generally not. If anything, more cities will
Maybe
be
more, yeah.
doing it. But again, there's no cost to the city to do this, to be part of this steering committee. And it, like I mentioned within the write-up, it helped out tremendously in 2023, where they submitted that. The attorneys came back with their experts and said, you don't really need that much, and actually lowered it down, so it was significant. Even though there was an increase, it wasn't a significant increase as what was predicted.
It's helped a lot over the years.
Yes, they've done a good job for us over the years. We don't have the expertise to handle it by ourselves.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve ordinance 1038-24.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Ford, second by Mr. Gessler to approve on first reading ordinance 1038-24. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, item carries. And that needs a second reading, huh? Okay. Yes, sir.
I have it scheduled for the next meeting.
I was just curious. I guess when you got lawyers involved, you gotta read it twice.
Well, it's because our charter requires it.
Oh.
So you'll get in the second workshop an option.
Okay. All right, item number 7, consideration of possible action on resolution 755-24, authorizing the submission of an application to the Texas General Land Office's Resilient Communities Program.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So, last year on the scoring for this particular program, we didn't score very high, and however, we were given the opportunity to reapply for funding. So for each applicant, the maximum that they would be eligible to receive is $300,000. At least half of it needs to address mitigation needs in the CDBG mid areas identified by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And each entity that applies needs to be in the CDBG mid eligible area. And they also must have the legal authority to adopt and enforce building code, zoning ordinances, land use plan, and or a comprehensive plan proposed in the RCP application. And that's Resilient Communities Program. So the process began in December of 2022, when proposals were sent out. And the only proposal received was from Public Management. City Council approved or authorized Public Management to begin the grant administration and planning process for our comp plan in January of 2023. So almost a year ago. The TREAT application was submitted at the end of September 27th, and the results were received by them on October 19th. In your packet, you should see the different scoring criteria and how we scored on each one. As I said, we scored a 3.1 overall, with recommendations to update various different codes and areas of our current comprehensive plan. So if awarded, Public Management is going to develop the planning elements of our plan and the subdivision zoning ordinance, with the biggest portion of it being infrastructure assessment and planning. Staff recommends City Council approve Resolution 755-24 to authorize the submission of our application to the Texas General Land Office for the CDBG MIT, and to authorize the mayor and the city manager to act as the city's executive officer and the authorized representative, respectively, in all matters pertaining to the city's participation in this program.
Mayor and Council, on this, the scoring report is in your packet. I want to make sure all council members understand the scoring of this doesn't indicate whether we're going to get the grant or not. It's a process that we went through to determine what building codes we have already, how outdated is our comprehensive plan, look at any flood damage preventions, ordinances that we have in place, just to look at all of our check boxes.
Just to see if it's worth applying for.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And so, walking through this process, there are, as Ms. Frank talked about, there are some things that have to address the CDBG MID area, but the biggest thing, as we talked before, is comprehensive plan update, and then any zoning, building code changes that come from that comprehensive plan. So what you have for you tonight is a request for us to apply for that grant, which you've already.
But we had applied before.
Correct. Yeah. So this is the 300,000, and it's a process that we have to go through, and we've already awarded the grant administration to Public Management, as well as Public Management will be doing the comp plan if we get the grant.
Did Public Management apply previously for us, or was that someone else?
No, I think Public Management applied.
Okay.
We applied, I think, on our own, and then we went with Public Management about doing the grant management.
Guess what I'm getting at? I think using Public Management, our chances will probably be better.
Yes, sir. I think we're really high on to be able to get this grant. We just need to have authority to move forward and applying for it.
It lists local hazard mitigation plans as a weakness.
Yes, sir. And so that is something that we'll address once the county finalizes their plan. And they're in the process of resubmitting that plan back after comments were made after one submitted.
I had a look at the International Building Code. Does it have historic building code part of it? Because
So our building codes, so what they're going to look at here is they're going to look at the comp plan first, and then once they determine what the comp plan is, look at our ordinances, determine what if their ordinances need to change. Mainly talking about the subdivision ordinances, those kind of things. There there are things we need to talk about as we move forward through that process related to our historic district and our, now we call it the railroad district, but our central business district and those building standards. Because something, as you're aware of, when we started talking, when P&Z started addressing issues with Wildfire Mead and what those building standards were, it was brought up that we need to look back over those standards and see if there's anything we need to tweak.
I know the historic codes are much different than the international building code.
Yes.
There's no way you can hold one of our downtown buildings to an international building code across the board, or the owner would go bankrupt.
Correct.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve resolution 755-24.
Second. Motion by Mr. Brooks, second by Mr. Gessler to approve resolution 755-24. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, item carried. Item 8 is the consent agenda, which consists of the second reading of ordinance 1037-23, amending wastewater fund budget for fiscal year beginning October 1, 2023, ending September 30, 2024, in the amount not to exceed $112,500. Minutes for December 2023 and the municipal court report for December 2023.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Gessler, second by Mr. Fultz to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, item carries. Item 9, City Council shall meet in executive session as authorized by section 551.071, Texas Government Code for the purpose of consultation with legal counsel concerning possible revision of the variance grant to M&P Adventures LLC for an erected off-premises outdoor advertising sign located at 9530 Highway 6, Navasota. Shall meet in executive session in accordance with Texas Government Code section 551.074, personnel matters concerning the annual evaluation of the city manager and possible amendment to the employment agreement for the city manager. Shall meet in executive session in accordance with Texas Government Code 551.074, personnel matters concerning evaluation of legal counsel for the city of Navasota and associated issues. And the time is 6:38. Okay, so we'll move to item number 10. We'll reconvene in open session at 8:34 p.m.
Mr. Mayor, I move.
Let me read item 11. Sorry. Consideration and possible action to authorize the mayor to execute a revision to the variance agreement M&P Adventures LLC for an erected off-premises outdoor advertising sign located at 9530 Highway 6, Navasota.
Now.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I move.
No, this one.
Oh,
Because
This one you already approved.
that's right.
this one, I'm sorry, okay.
That's right, yeah.
We're no action on item 11.
Okay, Patty, get ready. Get ready.
You're already in.
Are we taking action on item 12?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Consideration and possible action concerning the annual evaluation of the city manager and possible amendments to the employment agreement for the city manager.
Mr. Mayor, I move that Mayor Miller, you, be authorized to approve the revisions to the city manager's contract as discussed in executive session, and further that Mayor Miller be authorized to execute any necessary documentation related to the revised contract.
Second. Motion by Ms. Peterson, second by Mr. Fultz, to allow the mayor to execute the agreement between the annual evaluation and amendments to the employment agreement as discussed in the executive session. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, item carries. And we'll take no action on item 13. And seeing that the last item on the agenda, we are adjourned.